Hey guys, Dark here. Welcome to the first episode of Dark's Digilab. This is a series where I want to show you deck profiles which I find interesting on my own. And today we are starting with a really great one, the BlackWargreymon. This deck belongs to my friend. We worked on the deck together for a long time. We think it's a kind of sleeper deck. A lot of people think it's too slow, but I think, or we think, people are sleeping on it and it can pack quite a punch. So this is the deck profile of BlackWargreymon.
Hey friends, I'm Nima and I'm one of the doctor's best friends, and we worked on this profile and I'm gonna show you just quickly what we thought would be the best BlackWargreymon deck. So 4 babies here for Koromon, because you need to draw and draw, because the deck needs the consistency. I couldn't imagine another deck actually, but drawing cards is always good. And Wargreymon as a 5th deck, because this deck is a control deck, you go a lot into the grind game. So 5th deck is pretty standard, pretty important for me, and I like it that way. So 5x and just draw power. So then we go on with the rookies. We play 4 promo Agumon because we need that DP boost, because we are a control deck, we want to delete the opponent's Digimon, and plus 2000 is always great because every high top of this deck is a Greymon, so it always gets the DP boost. When you're an Omnimon, sometimes it happens, it doesn't get the boost, but 14,000 is 14,000, and with our second 4-off rookie, he also gets the DP boost. So we have starter deck Agumon, because 1000 every time you're on board is always great. So Chimeramon gets the boost, Cyclomon gets the boost. So he's really good, even if he's one of the first starter deck cards, but I really like him in this deck. So, and then we go to our searchers, and for more consistency, we play 3 of the BT5 Agumon. He's a great searcher. You play 2 Omnimon in this deck, to blitz Omni, to close up games, or to have an advantage in the grind game with a big body, so they cannot delete it or bounce it to your hand. So you always can find him with this Agumon, or with the general consistency of the deck, because that deck is pretty consistent from my point of view. So 3 of those, and then we play 3 of the new guy, the Agumon Black. Only 3 because he bottom decks often Tamers, and that's not a thing that I really like. And the deck is consistent enough to play 1 less of him and 1 more of these, because he also bottom decks Omnimons, and for me this 3-3 ratio sounds pretty good. Let's go on with the champions, my guys and girls. 4 of this Greymon. Yeah, he gives you blocker. What can I say? He's great. 12,000 BlackWargreymon blocker or 8,000 Metal Greymon blocker is insane, I would say. It's great. And with BlackWargreymon, he can, when he blocks and deletes the opponent's Digimon, yeah, he unsuspends. A great card. 4 of. Love it. And then we play 3 of the BT5 Greymon, which can evo for 1 memory on an Agumon, and we basically, only playing Agumons. He cannot Digivolve on the Black Agumon, so that's not the biggest problem, but I like, that's why I'm not playing 4 of, but this guy goes often for chip damage, or you Digivolve this guy for him and go into a Chimeramon play. But I really like this card here, BT5 Evos for very cheap, and these 2000 DP boosts are insane. They're really great for your BlackWargreymon. Our last Greymon would be starter deck Greymon, so this one with security attack +1. Sometimes a deck needs the punch, you know, so you cannot always outgrind your opponent. So that's why I'm playing 3 of these guys, because you need punch, and I guess that's good enough for me. And 2 of the new Cyclonemon. I was really thinking about cutting this card completely and just play, you know, maybe 2 of this guy only and 0 of this guy and play Geogreymon. But Geogreymon, if he doesn't pop out of security and pops something on summon, it's a really bad card, even if you can search it. But I really like Cyclonemon because with Chimeramon he's got a good synergy because he deletes 2000 or less Digimon, and with Chimeramon you can DP reduce your opponent's Digimon. So really like him, and really important that he's red and black. So important because BlackWargreymon needs a black Digimon in its sources to delete tamers. If he only has red sources, you can only delete your opponent's Digimon for a cost of 6, combined cost of 6. So that's why we play 4 of these and 2 of these, so we have 6-6 ratio for black Digimon and red Digimon. So let's go to the level 5s, our ultimates. So most important deck of the card of the deck, not deck of the card, Wargreymon. He's black, he's red, great source. He de-Digivolves one of your opponent's Digimon. It's great. It's insane, this format, especially when you're playing against Cherubimon, right, Doc? So and then he deletes a 3000 or less Digimon. So even if you don't de-Digivolve your opponent's Digimon, you can at least delete a 3000 or less Digimon. I love that. The Inherit is insane. You can attack unsuspended Digimon with your Wargreymons or your BlackWargreymons. So really great. This card is insane. I can't believe they printed this card. Many people said because he's 4 cost, there's a drawback, but for me, where's the drawback? Because you have a lot of Nokias in this deck, you can reduce the cost, and insane. Love this card. Sadly, I have no pre-release version of it. So we play 1 off Wargreymon Ultras mode. He also gives a DP boost, sometimes comes in handy. His pop, when you Digivolve on a Wargreymon, especially you for 1 or 0 with a Nokia, you can pop a 4000 or less Digimon. Sometimes it comes up, is great, but the 2000 DP boost is insane, especially when this guy is in grave or trash. That's the same reason we play 1 of this guy, EX1 Wargreymon. He gives piercing. I really like this card because he can Digivolve on a black and a red Digimon, and on swing, and you will see why I swing with this guy sometimes. You pop a 4000 or less Digimon. That's great against Imperialdramon. I popped Stingmons, I popped XVmons, because even the EX1 XVmon has only 4000 DP. So, and they almost never play DP boost. Sometimes they play the Devimon from the starter deck Old Force, but they only get 1000 boosts when they have 8 cards in hand. Yeah, let's have fun with this. Okay, so he's really great because most of the time you swing with him with 9000 in general, or maybe sometimes 11,000. You will see why later, because of our tamers. And then one of my favorite cards of the new set, Chimeramon. So that's why I thought Geogreymon would be a great idea. But in this deck, you have cheap evos like BT8 Greymon. You have Nokias that play 3 Agumons, so you can cheap evolve onto that Agumon, and from raising you have another champion most of the time. And you go into this guy, you put a Wargreymon 1 off under it, or this one, or anything you really need in this situation. This box, or this deck is really toolboxy, you know, so you can build it the way you want, but these ratios really seemed the best for me because I always see these guys. So why should I play 2 instead of my precious Chimeramons? And especially this guy combos off with one of our beautiful techs. I will later explain the combo, because we can make this guy 4 colors. So he gets his 4000 DP boost and he reduces the opponent's Digimon by 4000 on the field. And that's how I board wipe against Imperial, because I always kill their 4000 and less Digimon. And now to our level 6. Yeah, okay, you know how the main guy, the maestro, the big guy of the show, BlackWargreymon, he is, I love him. I really, really love him, love the artwork, especially the normal artwork. The alt art is, I love the foiling, but this guy with his pulsating Dark Gaia Force, insane. And yeah, and his effect is also insane. So this guy, when you Digivolve him, I also told you, you can pop Digimon or Tamers when they cost 6. So you can pop 2 3-cost Tamers or 2 3-cost Digimon, or 1 6-cost Digimon, or 1 4-cost Tamer and 1 2-cost Tamer. Only you can pop Digimon when there are red sources under this guy. This is almost every time the case. Sometimes you don't have black sources under this guy, so you can pop Tamers. But that's not so important. In early game, popping Tamers is always great, but if they have the second memory Tamer, like the Rapidmon decks, the yellow hybrid decks, or even Imperial Dramon, if they have 2, it's not worth it to delete the memory Tamer, from my point of view. Sometimes it's okay, but I would rather delete Digimon when they have 2 of the memory Tamers. And then this guy, Unsuspense, when one of your opponent's Digimon, only Digimon, is deleted. So you play him on a suspended maybe Metal Greymon, pop a Digimon with this guy, with his on Digivolve effect, and then you unsuspend him. Or if this guy is blocker with the Greymon from this set, with this one, you block an attack from your opponent, delete that Digimon, and he unsuspends. So he can block twice a turn. He's insane. And then we go to our last level 6, this guy. Really like him. You have really nasty security in this format. Really nasty security. And he bypasses that. So he gets the check on Digivolve extra. And he gives that extra check to Omnimon if you put 1 on him, so keep that in mind. And he is a delicate plan, so he doesn't trigger options when he swings into security. Many people forget this, even if they play him. I don't know why. I've seen many videos where options get still triggered, even if this guy swings, because people forget why you have to play him. So yeah, that's about our level 6s. We have an alternative. I was playing this ratio with this guy, with BlackWargreymon Secret Rare from BT2. He's great. With Metal Greymon, you can have a really good board wipe if this guy is under him, because he unsuspends every time he deletes an opponent's Digimon. And every time he deletes the opponent's Digimon with the highest DP.
Attacks.
If he attacks him, yeah, really. So the doctor always says attacks, because we thought at first you have to delete the opponent's Digimon. No, he only has to attack the opponent's Digimon with the highest DP. So yeah, he was great, but he's too niche. You cannot use him all the time. He costs 4, and even with Nokias, he's most of the time not worth it, even if I love this alt art and I always like to put them together like this, like my Barbie dolls. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, and 2 of these guys are really good this format. So that's why we play him. And then for our last Digimon in this deck, we played 2 Blitz Omni. Yeah, you can go for game with him. Opponent doesn't expect it, or has to expect it in his deck at least. And we also play this guy. We play 2 of this guy, because if you play him mid-game, if you have a BlackWargreymon suspended and then you put this guy on him, you have an extra swing mid-game, and he's really hard to remove. What can remove him? Not many things. Or you can Digivolve him, yeah. So in the mirror match, but actually it's pretty hard. He always sticks 1 or 2 turns when I play him. He cannot be deleted or bounce to your hand. Great card. So we go to the Tamers. We play for Nokia.
Best girl.
best girl, loved her in Cyber Sleuth. I love Omnimon, so and you have to play 4. I was trying 3 because I thought you don't need her as much, but yeah, you need her. Even if you don't use her for a turn because you Digivolve in Raising, she is insane. Not only because she plays Agumons for free and you can play a Searcher Agumon, or even for later Jogris plays, you can play an Agumon and then Digivolve for 1 or 0 your Greymon BT5. So, and then you can go into a Jogris with Chimeramon. Great card, best card. So, and then our second tamer, it's not Marcus Damon and it's not Ty. Who's gonna be? It's gonna be Hero, the new tamer from BT8 and from the show Ghost Game, which is really nice. I like it. I watched the first episode and pretty creepy, pretty terrifying, but I love it. I love the style of the new show. And I love Gammamon, so what can you do? We are control deck. He gives level 5 Digimon or Gammamons. It doesn't matter which color they are, 2000. So he suspends, and when you attack, you get a 2000 boost. That's great if you don't have an Agumon or a Greymon with a DP boost under your BlackWargreymon. So you can still control the match and the game, because you can still swing over, I don't know, Mastermons or fighter modes with this guy. So great guy. He's a memory setter, so I was thinking about bumping him to 3, but I don't have the space because of the last 2 cards. So we have him at 2. It's enough. It's okay. It didn't come up the 3rd time. We play a memory boost because it triggers from security. So it triggers that you can later pop it for to memory. That's why I prefer this card, this format over cards like Gravity Crush. So this guy, and he searches. Consistency. Good card. What can you say? And then our last card, our big tech of the year, month or week, is in this deck, Lucemon. Lucemon Yellow. The doctor came up with this because we always had grind games, or I had grind games against other opponents too, where one security really mattered, because in the backswings you always can kill them. And you can postpone their victory with your blocker Greymons or BlackWargreymons. So this card is great because he heals and you almost always have 10 in trash. So you play him for 5 most of the time. Every time you play him for 5. And then he's great because when he's in trash, because he was hit in security or whatever, you play Chimeramon. This guy can put this guy under him. You have black sources, you have red sources, you have yellow sources now. So you can get the DP boost, the 4000 boost for this guy, and all the inherits. And he doesn't have an inherit, but you can pop 4000 or lower Digimon. So, or you DP reduce them by 4000. And this is all the champions besides Lydramon in the Imperial Dramon deck. And there's so many, or Gatomons. You can pop so many cards if you have the possibility to pop 4000. I made a board wipe with this combo against Imperial because he had a Stingmon and 2 Vmon out and was preparing his big play, like his big, I have the big stack, I will Imperial Dramon you to death and do my shenanigans. But this stopped him completely and took him off guard, really. And that's why we included him. And it's funny. It's freaking funny. It's really freaking funny to play a Lucemon because nobody expects this card in this deck. And in control decks, every control deck could use a Lucemon. I'm just saying. So this was the deck profile. This is the main combo. You could argue that you can play with Chimeramon because you have so many sources. The promo BlackWargreymon, the guy that unsuspends when you trash 2 sources from him. So the Digiburst ability. But yeah, maybe I try him out. But I really like this deck how it is. He's only a black card, so you can't Blitz Omni for game with him. and or save your Black Wargreymon with Omnimon on him. So that's why I don't play him right now. But this was our Black Wargreymon deck. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, comment and subscribe and tell us if you like this profile.
So this is his whole deck in one picture. We were discussing why we play Hero over Tai. Tai is a really great card and we actually had a combo with him in mind. So for example, if you get the Lucemon Chimeramon combo off, you have like 12,000 DP and it's probably red, so you have an extra check with the Chimeramon with 12,000 DP, which is basically mega level DP, plus security check Greymon or the plus 1000 DP Agumon, so you can potentially check for 3, but we scrapped that idea because Tai was too unreliable, because Chimeramon can utilize Tai, or you have to get a Digimon out of the raising with the egg, and sometimes we play Nokia and go from the Agumon from there and don't utilize the egg, so Tai wouldn't even trigger those, so we chose Hero. And when we tried Marcus Damon, and it sounds kinda weird, but the excess memory Marcus generates is too much. We don't need it. Actually, we don't need it. Nokia reduces the cost or manipulates the cost the way we want it to be. And since we are Black Wargreymon players, we can delete their memory tamers and choke them to 1. And if we don't play with enough foresight or something happens in the security and we triggered Marcus Damon, it's kinda awkward sometimes to choke the opponent. With Nokia, it's no problem ever. So that's why we prefer Hero over Tai. Another point is, a lot of people ask me, why don't we play Tsunorizamon? And yes, I can see why we should play Tsunorizamon, but we don't play Black Axe. That's one thing, because we would like to draw, and we don't want to slap Tsunoriza hard on the field because it costs 3 and has no surge effect, so that's another point we don't want to utilize this. We easily have the DP to get the extra check and pierce extra check, but we decided against Tsunorizamon because we think we don't need that kind of power boost. We went for only Agumons, and
Tsunoriza makes it a completely different deck also. So you play Nokia because you play so many Agumons. So your only level 3, which is not an Agumon, is the Lucemon, and you hard play him all the time if you use him, or you put it under Chimeramon. So this is a strictly tribal deck, I would say, and if you play a black toolbox deck, maybe it could work. So you play all the Greymon support for black and stuff, or the good black cards with this. But from my point of view, this deck has the perfect balance between aggression and defense. So that what makes it maybe a little bit better than the black base version.
On another note, sometimes we got asked, where's our removal cards, where's Atomic Blaster, where's Gaia Force, where's Dark Gaia Force, and we think we don't need it because our removal card is Black Wargreymon. And the whole deck is built to build him up real quick, stay in turn, and swing twice over Digimon or anything they have actually, so we don't need Dark Gaia Force and Gaia Force. On the other hand, we tried to swap out Cyclomon, and believe it or not, it's actually not so easy to have the color restrictions for black and red ready with this build. So we should go with black tamers, but we don't want to play black tamers. And if we have Black Wargreymon out already, you don't really want to Dark Gaia Force because we have Black Wargreymon out. So that's why we don't play Dark Gaia Force. But that's it for the video. Thanks for watching, and keep posted for the next episode of DigiD4rks Lab.